I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. When I moved in this area, Graves County, Kentucky, first 3 years, I have $10,000 per year at the Christmas time for people that they could not afford to buy a gift for their kids for the first 3 years. And after that, second 3 years, which is total of 6 years, I did exactly the same thing, $5,000 per year. I opened up a restaurant, Mayfield Market, and a restaurant just north of Mayfield. And I gave 75% discount on all the military personnel and their family, 50% discount on all the food for the firefighters and the police officers, because they are hardworking people and they put their life on the line for all of us, and I thought I'd just try to help out as much as I can. Every year contribution to fire department, and anytime someone have some sort of fundraising and they're looking to raise some food for the people they cannot afford to get, when my name comes up, I'm out there and trying to do best I can. In 1 year, I spent $3,000 Sam's Clubs and buy food, all food. And a TV station from Paducah happened to be out there and they recorded everything. It takes about 4 people, nearly 30 minutes to unload my vehicle. If I happen to be in a restaurant and I see military personnel having a lunch there, I take the tab all the time, countrywide, any location. Years ago, 11 Americans were stranded in the Middle East on a mountain, and they thought they're going to lose their life and never going to be able to leave that area. I put my life on the line and saved all those 11 Americans, and they were able to return back home in the United States. This is only a small part of the things I do for our community, for our country, and it's extremely disappointing. When I go into court, I get discriminated against. I'd like to take this opportunity and mention about one of the cases that happened right here in Graves County. We had a large equipment need to take it off the semi flatbed. We ordered a 170-ton crane. The crane company showed up with 80-ton crane, and they changed the weight on our paperwork, and they admit in the court that they changed it. They forged the weight and tried to use the 80-ton crane to pick up that load, and they had a hard time doing that. But they were able to just barely pick it up. But they still got away with that. They want to charge us for a 170-ton crane. I have an example. You get to see the tape. Anyone can label this case or any other cases differently than discrimination. I'd like to know. We have a building that breaks into it every once in a while, several years back, and I'm talking to one of the city officials. What can we do to stop this break-in? They're destroying some of our equipment. I receive an answer from city official. I know who did those. All these little black boys are doing that. I was very disappointed when I hear that. And I asked him, how do you know? He realized he shouldn't have said what he said. He said, oh, I didn't mean that. You know, small bits and pieces of things like that going on in everyone's mind. And we're not supposed to do that. We all are people. It doesn't really matter what color we are and where we come from. If we are a criminal, do something about it. If you're not, we're all the same. Hello everyone. I'm a business owner, and sometime around 20 some odd years ago, I was invited by city official to come over and do my business in Graves County, Kentucky. So we agree on that, and we move our business in this area. In this past 20 some odd years that we've been in this area, every case that went to court, regardless of the situation, not once justice been done properly. Maybe because, I don't know, discrimination? Because I have an accent a little bit? But so is 90% of the people in this country. They have an accent. They're from somewhere in this world. I don't understand it. When we have individual people sit in the court and as a jury, and they say something they're not supposed to and discriminate between people, it's understandable. It's not right. Understandable. It's people. They can think many different ways. But when it comes to the city official and comes to the judge and they discriminate, that's disappointing. In 20 some odd years, not one case justice was done properly. Not one. Graves County, Kentucky. Now we have one of the cases that happened a few months back. I want to describe it, and I don't know how clear we can tell to the judge, but the judge did not take it the way it's supposed to. We're going to pretend this backhoe is a crane, and we're going to pretend that is a product that we're supposed to bring off the truck. That product is somewhere around 40 or 50,000 pound neighborhood. And the company going to do that is a Greer Neon. Let me show you. We are doing this to show you what the Greer Neon actually did with their crane and our equipment. Of course, we're trying to set this backhoe in a place of a crane, and that machine is the press brake that they moved in. Backhoe is a little bit quicker. Taking the crane, hook off, and take the jack up, and then bring it back and hook it up again, it's a whole lot slower. So they were doing much slower, and that's how fast as they could do. So they were doing fine. And that's for Greer Neon. As you can see, they charge us $160 per hour, end up being $400, so not quite 3 hours, like 2.5 hours neighborhood. I did it quicker in here simply because it was a backhoe, but it takes them about 2.5 hours to do that. And you see the bill in here. Now let me show you what General Steel did. I'm sorry, I can't lift that. It's too heavy. But I thought you brought the crane 170 ton. Yes, but this is too heavy. It's supposed to be around 50,000 pounds, anywhere from 48 to 52,000 pounds. Well, I don't know. Well, if you have a crane 170 ton, I'll pick that up, no problem. 170 ton, right? Yes. Yes. Okay, then why can't you pick it up? On 170 ton, it got about 52,000 pounds. This is what they've done. When my shop foreman walked away, they scratched up the 52,000 pound and they put 68,000 pound. My truck went through the silver scale coming from Ohio somewhere, all the way down here, and 52,000 pound was okay for every one of the scales. But when it came over here, suddenly it's not 52,000 pound. And they say, General Steel said, well, everybody cheats on the weight. Okay. They cheat on the crane, calling it 170 ton, and cannot pick up 52,000 pound. They change it to 68,000 pound, so they have the excuse. it still doesn't make sense because they still should be able to pick it up. The crane was less than a 100-ton crane. It was an 80-ton crane. So 80-ton crane, it'd be difficult for them to pick up 52,000 pounds. But when they scratch it with 68,000 pounds, okay, now that you're here, what can we do? Says Vegan Metal. General still says, well, I don't know. I can't put this down. Okay, I can't lift it and move it. Vegan Metal says, okay, so what can we do? General still says, well, I might be able to just lift it if you want to get the truck out of the way. All right, so we could have done that with our forklift. We didn't have to call them. We called them so they can pick it up and move it. And 170-ton crane should have been able to do that. Judge says, weight is not a factor, is not relevant. Of course it is. They cheated in here. And judge let them get away with that. I show you what we did. At the time we did these, there was no car parking here, so the vehicle was a little bit closer to the fence, but it's the same idea. That's all General Steel did. Lift it, we drove it out, and put it down. And this is what they charge us. $2,479. And if you don't pay, we're going to charge you so much percentage. Well, judge allows that. Judge gave them a percentage, thousands of dollars. Why? This is literally 15, 20 minutes job. They claimed they drove 2 hours, coming in, 2 hours going back. Judge allowed that because 170-ton crane cannot go any more than a 50 mile per hour. Well, for one thing, that's 80 ton, number one. Two, they are going over 50 miles per hour. But I personally allow the 2 hours coming, 2 hours going. I didn't have a problem with that. That's total 4 hours. And I was willing to pay them for 4 hours, plus 30 minutes or whatever it takes to lift that, and you saw it. That's exactly what happened. But the minute you see the judge coming in, saw me and saw my Mexican employee, boom, that's it. That's the end of our case. I am very sorry to see things like that happen right here in our home, Graves County, Kentucky. If you don't call that a discrimination, I'm very curious, what would be the name? What just happened in here? And I tried to raise my hand and complain. Judge says, well, Mr. Fakurian, you already gave your testimony and your testimony was heard. Yeah, but you're not doing anything about it. Yeah, you heard it, but you hear from one ear and pass it on the other. Total lies from the other company was accepted. 100% all the truth from us was dumped. There was a judge, there was us, there was General Steel, 3 parties. Out of the 3 parties, only one was speaking the truth. That was us. The other 2 party was liar and non-honest. You guys decide to figure out who is who. Thank you for listening. I hope this make a little bit of difference in some people's mind.